Welcome to my channel, Better Monday Fasting. In today's video, I'll be giving the updates on my carnivore journey since I completed like the first month full carnivore, and also I'm going to compare through my experience carnivore with keto. Before getting started, nothing I share is medical advice, so always do your own research before making any health-related decisions, and maybe your research can start with this video. So if you've been following the previous videos, like I've been on a carnivore diet for like the past month, and before that I was actually on a keto diet, and I was trying to lean towards carnivore, and it wasn't an easy task. So I've been on full carnivore for the past month, 30 days or so. But before that, for an additional 2 weeks or so, I've been struggling to pass, and I had all these I had diarrhea, I had headaches, and so it wasn't easy. Even though I was already on a keto diet for almost 2 years. So yeah, it's so I can imagine that somebody who wants to pass from a full say American diet to carnivore, it might be brutal. But I'm not representative, so it could also be that it was hard for me, but it won't be for you. So that's one thing to keep in mind. So to give you a brief overview of what I'm thinking about carnivore so far, I would say it's 70% positive. I think I'm onto something. A lot is healing, but I'm still not not all that convinced in terms of if it would be sustainable or not. But there are certain things that are proofs that it's healing. So the first one is my skin is clear. I have better skin compared to my skin before. That's one proof, and I think it's probably has to do with the liver. The face, the skin is usually the mirror image on the health status of the liver. Second thing is I used to have this scalp situation. I'll produce skin, and I will have itchy scalp after eating, and I could not find a solution. I didn't know what was the root cause. But with keto it went better, but it was still there. But now it's it's gone. So that's it's very impressive. That's also second observation that is almost a proof that is it's doing something major with my health improvement. Third, that's another thing that I was observing, and I think it's also a major breakthrough. It's my feet, my left foot. It's I'm not a foot model or anything, but it's it's a good shaped foot with the arch and everything. It's a pretty good looking foot. It looks healthy and everything. But my right foot was a little bit different, it was a little swollen, and the arch wasn't as pretty. And even years ago, I had a girlfriend, and after, I think it was after intimacy, I think she even noticed. It's oh yeah, your right foot isn't the same. And I could not figure out why it was like that, but I had an idea. I was thinking it's also maybe due to the liver, the foot also tells you a lot about your health. You know, the little exploded like a spider like veins, they might communicate something if it's swollen, if there's water retention. But for me, it was very subtle, but it was just surprising that, like, the difference between the left and the right. And you know what? Now my right foot looks like my left foot. The arch is pretty, and I think that's huge. I mean, having that foot little tiny bit swollen, it never kept me from doing anything. So, but it's just in terms of you know, what the body is trying to communicate you, you know. And if you have like a little condition like that, it doesn't, you know, like it doesn't keep you from doing anything, but at the same time, it's like, it's not normal. Like if it was normal, it will look at least like your left foot, right? So that's also a big breakthrough. Like I think that's I mean, from my experience, my observation, I mean, it didn't change my life or anything, but I think it's a proof that it's going in the right direction. And another positive point is digestion. I don't know if you've been following my videos. It's like after I had my last diarrhea, I didn't go to the bathroom for 8 days for number 2. Then I went after 3 days, and then after 4 days, and then it came back to normal. Started going like to the bathroom every day. But this week the improvement is that so without being too graphic, talking about number 2, I mean, my even though I was going to the bathroom every day, my stools were a little bit on the harder side, and it was like still a little difficult to get the waste out. But now, like it's been like several days. Yeah, it's almost perfect. Like it's yeah, the stool, like the whole digestion thing. It's like it's clean, it's softer, and it moves. So that's also huge, because that destroys like the whole, you know, like the whole concept of you gotta eat fiber and you know. So I think the key to good digestion has nothing to do with fiber. Like I think it's like it has to do with the bacteria. And because I've been eating for the last 30 days, I've been eating the same thing, carnivore, and now it's like it's. I mean, I've seen like the improvement. So to me, it looks like I had you know, when I passed to carnivore, the body was like, oh my God, what's going on? And it just reacted. I had diarrhea, all that, and now it's like there's a new order that is taking place, and now I think I've made good progress, and now it's like, who knows, maybe it's going to keep improving. But that's also huge. You know, that's like, all those things are you know, in my opinion, huge improvements. Like, and even though I don't feel all that great, now I'm gonna pass to the more the negative sides of carnivore diet so far in 30 days. So all those observations, like for me, they give me hope for the future, because currently, I mean, if I compare myself to myself on the ketogenic diet, like I will say that I'm kind of like 5 to 10% less happy. Like I have this, like my mood is a little bit like down, but at the same time I feel like I'm more, maybe more grounded. I have more like my feet on the ground, so less euphoria and, you know, peaks in happiness. But at the same time, I'm maybe more realistic, more grounded. So hopefully, my mood will improve, or maybe it's a part of the process. The body is still working, but that's like, yeah, that's I'm not as happy as when I was on keto. Then the second thing is like, not every day, but on certain days, I tend to stay in bed more, like in the morning. Like I'm having a hard time starting my days, whereas when I was like on keto and I was skipping some OMADs, I will start the day. I will wake up and bam, start the day. And now it's a little bit. There's some birds. There's some birds singing. Now it's a little bit on certain days. It's a little bit low energy to start the day. Then once I keep going. I have good moments, but yeah. So that's something I'm kind of unhappy with. Another thing that I'm really unhappy with, it's my performance at the gym. I mean, I'm also ashamed. Like I've been, very low energy, and I had this like for a month now since I started. I had this like chronic shoulder pain, but I think I find a solution. It was like when you do the chicken wing, like it will hurt, and I just Google, and I find the video that I can actually show it to you. Like you put your arm like that, then you turn, you put your hand against the wall, and then I don't know if you can see it, you bend your knees, and then you stretch your, the worst time, there's a fly on my nose, and oh my God, like the first time I did it, in my biceps, I mean, I'm holding the camera, I cannot show, but like it's actually stressed like under my biceps, and it was almost orgasmic. Like I almost had tears in my eyes. Like I could feel that I was stretching a portion of my body that was really really stiff, and right away the shoulder pain, like maybe I don't know, a good 30% was gone. And that's something I noticed with a lot of the like back pains, shoulder pain. It's, because I was hurting here, but it seems like the problem was on the opposite side. And that's something I've noticed a lot of time. It's like that. You gotta stretch the other, and same with posture and everything. Sometimes, like you want your posture to be like that, but you gotta sometimes work other muscles on the other side of the body. So I think I'm going to be solving that problem. But I don't know if it has anything to do with the carnivore or not. But that's something. So I've been, the gym was like horrible, but at the same time, I'm like more toned. Like it's like I almost look better, even though I'm not working out really well lately. So I almost feel like I don't deserve it, like to look the way I look, because lately I've been performing really bad. So I don't know. It's also the summertime here. Like it's really hot, and where I work out, there's no air conditioning. I mean, it could be a part of it. It could be a combination of things, but definitely or maybe I'm not doing the carnivore right, because it's still a kind of a dirty carnivore the way I'm doing it. I'm still I'm consuming yogurt, I'm consuming cheese, I'm still consuming coffee, lime juice, and tea. So those also could be the reason. Either I'm not doing the carnivore right, or I'm still on my way to maybe at one point I'm gonna be feeling great and maybe better than keto, but overall I don't feel as good as I was feeling during keto. But I want to go on this path because I have proofs that, you know, like the skin, the scalp, the foot. I mean, all those things are very digestion. I mean, it's not like, oh, I feel better. Like it's concrete proof that, and those are very important things. You know, they're very. I mean, like I said at the beginning of the video, the skin is the mirror of the liver. The food is the mirror of the liver. Digestion. I mean, if you have good digestion, it's like it's already it's huge. You know, in terms of overall health. So that's the other negative thing. One more negative thing with a little positive thing is like with my music. I've been also very like I'm really not happy. Like I don't play as much as before, but it's also due to like with my business, and like I'm just working really hard with my business. I'm at that point where, you know, it's like try to make it take off, you know, like it's still, you have to, there's always something missing, and everything takes longer than before, and so it's like it occupies a lot my mind, and so it's not it's not a time problem, but it's more like my mental focus is somewhere else, and so having been playing less, and also I like less endurance to play songs and all that, like and not inspired at all. Like I in a way I feel like I'm a different person. That's with the Carnivore, I feel like I'm more, it's I don't know, like I'm sure, I hope I'm not turning from like a rocker to accountant or something. Like I'm more like everything is like a more stable, I'm more feet on the ground, like I don't get excited as easily, like I'm more like realistic. I'm like, hey, like wait to see, you know, type. So I don't know, maybe before, like the maybe consuming sugar and all, like I mean natural sugar, but maybe it makes you, you know, it makes you more excited about things, but it's not real. Like, and maybe now I'm just maybe getting rid of inflammation and all that, and I'm just more realistic. I don't know. So there is that, like too. Like I feel like yeah, the music has been really good, inspiration-wise, running the set, but my voice sounds better. My voice sounds better, and my technique. It took me a lot of time to figure out like the whole, you know, the diaphragm thing and open the mouth. You know, it's like I mean, I'm a bass player to start with, but at one point I had the problems with my tendons, and I had to take a break from playing, and I had taken some singing lessons back then, and the teacher was like telling me how to do but I couldn't figure it out. But then throughout the years, somehow, because I find myself in situations I had to sing and tour, and then I learned it, and all the information, even though I had not figured it out while I was taking those classes in Switzerland, then everything starts sinking in. And lately I made another progress. Now I think I'm doing it even better than before. And each time I'm remembering what my teacher, her name was Severine, really, really nice lady. And so her husband was a guitar teacher, and she was a singing teacher, and we'll do like summer camps. You know, I was like, I'm not going on vacation. I was just, you know, let's be put energy in the Guitar Hero bank. So we'll have like, it was like workshop every day, and with the husband. And so when I start having the problems, I switched to, for a while I had to take a break with my arms. So I had done that, and now I'm like, oh, okay, that's what she was talking about, because she was always like open, like fix the note like on your face and support, like she'll say, yeah, now you're singing, but there's no support. So it's a whole. I mean, it's a real instrument, you know, singing. It's real instrument, you know. It's built inside of you, so it's like it's very abstract to figure it out. But that whole thing is working better. It's working better, and maybe it has to do also with me being more grounded. I don't know, and also with time, with 30 years, over 30 years of trying to rock out. That's the thing. I mean, my whole rock and roll thing, I think I'm like, to start with, I think I have a creative talent. I think I have something to say, but I think musically and I think musically I'm not that talented. Like that's my conclusion. It's just that I put. I think I have a okay ear. I think I'm okay, but it's just that I've done it for a long time, and that's why I was able to reach a certain level. But I think somebody like more talented with all the hours I put in will be like have better results, I think. But I always had, that was my edge, was that like from the very beginning, I think the first thing I did on the guitar was like, I had a Japanese friend who taught me the bass line of Stand By Me. So I tried to figure that out. Like I think I wouldn't sleep, and like 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, 15 hours a day, like try to figure out like Stand By Me, the bass line. So that was my first, because before that I didn't even know how it worked. You know, I didn't know that you had to pray. You know, a friend of my mom's friend, like her son had quit playing the guitar, and once I was invited to. I was accompanying my mom, you know, like all the Turkish ladies in Switzerland, they will get together in the afternoons to drink tea together. It's very common. They call that gün. It's like, means like day. So daytime, so men not allowed, I mean, unless you're a kid. And the woman will get together, and yeah, they kept with that tradition in Switzerland. And once they for me, it will be the most boring thing. You know, you go there and there's all like 40-year-old, 50-year-old Turkish ladies. You know, but there will be good food. There'll be good food, tea, and all that. But so yeah, I think like she took me once to that gün, and I was bored. So I was just like, I started like exploring the house, and in the basement I found this. Ibanez red Ibanez guitar and a Fender like practice amp, and I was like, wow. And so then I went upstairs and I said, I found this guitar, and the lady told me, yeah, my son, he got motivated, but he never used it, so it's just rusting there, you know. And she was like, you know what, if you want, you can borrow it, you know, you can. And I was like, wow, and that's how my whole like career of rocker started. But first I didn't know anything. Like I would plug the amp and it would Larsen, and I was just like, whoa. But I already knew, like I think I saw myself with the guitar, and I was like, that's what I want to do. But I didn't know for a while until that my Japanese friend, Takuro, he was, my best friend is Atsushi, and his dad was on a mission. We're like almost neighbors. He's my best friend, childhood friend. And but in the 90s, it was 91 or something, they had to leave for Japan, so they went. But the same Japanese company, they kept the house for the person who was going to replace Atsushi's dad. And that guy, I also got along really well with that family. So the son of the person taking Atsushi's father's job, so I told, he saw my guitar, and he's like, I'm not a guitar player. I don't know how to play, but I know one thing. It's the bass line of Stand By Me. And he taught me, and then I was just like, oh, that's what you're supposed to do. You have to, you actually have to press the chords, because I was just like, trying to like making noise. So I learned, I learned Stand By Me. But then the first thing I did, it was like to write my first song. I think it was called Crazy Girl. Like it was like, 3 power chords, and then it will change, and it was like crazy girl, like that. Like I didn't know any English, but like I knew that. Then I was really proud, and I showed my song to my mom. She was like, I cracked her up, like she was like, oh my god. Yeah, and for a while, like I was it was a joke for my family, like I was playing and stuff, but I was so dead serious, I was just like practicing, and sometimes they would call me to eat, and I was like, dude, like we're trying to become a rock star here, like who needs to eat, And sometimes we still lived with it was before my parents got divorced. Yeah, like my dad jokingly would call me to eat. Instead of calling me Ali, he would call me like Amadeus. Hey Amadeus, dinner is ready. Like, so it started like that, like the whole rock and roll adventure. But all that to say that, like right now with the carnivore, like it's a huge tangent, but I had fun going on that tangent. I hope you'll have fun listening to it. But the whole the voice thing is better, but like the whole inspiration, and the thing I'm missing right now is like that extra spark, that extra spark is missing. But I'm performing well. The only area I'm performing well at the moment, it's work. It seems like the new me works better to work, to do all the administrative stuff, all the the business, all the at all levels. It seems to work better, and I'm more calm, and I can do more hours, and it doesn't feel like work, and I'm enjoying it, and so that has been working well. And so like to compare like keto with carnivore through my experience, and because they're not on equal footing. I did keto for 2 years, and carnivore for like a full carnivore for a month only. So if I compare the two, keto was more fun. Like keto with keto and skipping some OMADs, it worked really well. In terms of productivity, I was on top of the world. I cannot say that much about carnivore, but the results I'm having, they're very encouraging. So I'm gonna go on that path. My goal is to go 90 days. So I already have 30 under my belt. So I want to go 90 days and see what's up. See what's up. I have also another thing before I forget, that's important. It's my kidneys are not filtering anymore. So I've been monitoring my urine, and when I was on the keto, especially when I was skipping OMADs and coming back, I will filter a lot. But during the carnivore, not filtering anything. Very few, and it's not even like a snowflake like. If I let it sit, like the urine, you see like a cloud of like almost like jelly like. It's also a waste. I mean, there's something coming out, but, and also I heard that, carnivore hurts the kidneys and stuff, so I have to look into that. So that's also, with all the positive, that is a little worrying, because in my journey of fasting, I remember when I first started, I also noticed once I learned about kidney filtration, I started monitoring my urine and I wasn't filtering. Then I did all this extra effort, like I kind of learned about like how to filter, and then I started filtering, and that was like one of the biggest breakthroughs of my fasting adventure. I was like, after that I start feeling way better. So now that I'm not filtering, it's a little bit worrisome. So yeah, I still want to do the 90 days, and then I will make my mind. Either I'll stay on carnivore, or I'll stay on carnivore. I'll go back to keto, or I'll try to take the best of the two worlds, and I'll try to do what they call the keto war. So, because also with the keto I had different periods, like sometimes I will really be very disciplined and bring like the carb to below 50 grams, below 20 grams. But sometimes, like lately, I was eating like those keto hazelnut paste, and then I learned that to keep those keto treats, like Nutella-like keto treats, to keep them so they have a shelf time, to increase the shelf time. I heard that because there will always be some oil on top of it, and I always thought, it's probably the oil from the hazelnut. But then I learned that no, they're using seed oil, So that's also inflammatory. So yeah, like maybe the keto might be the solution, but more of a strict keto. And maybe towards the end, I was eating a lot of chocolate, sugarless, but still. So cacao, it's like oxalates and all that. Yeah, that's how we learn. So I have to do all this experience, and then I'll fine tune. Like I still don't know if there's something that is perfect. I mean, my experience so far with all this health journey is that you do a diet, you do something, you solve problems, but then it creates other problems that you need to solve. So it's never. You always need to observe and change and adapt. Like there's no like, from now on I'm doing this and it's gonna work. Like with fasting, it doesn't. You always plateau, or you start like you solve problems and then you create other problems. So it's more of a balance thing, So you go on this side, then you're like, okay, more on this side, more by little. You, I have faith that I'm gonna. Because already with the keto, switching to keto was huge, because with all the other diets, I mean, I stayed on raw diet for 9 months. Then it wasn't sustainable for me. The non-animal product, it was always like 2-3 months, and then it wasn't sustainable. Frugivore, I couldn't do it more than a week. But keto, it lasted 2 years, So it's already a victory there. And then it's already a victory there, and the carnivore, it's opening a whole new door. So which one is better? Yeah, I mean, for keto was more fun. Carnivore, it seemed to get some extra results that I wasn't getting from the keto. So in that sense, it's good. In terms of grocery bills, I mean, like since I'm on carnivore, it's 60% less, which is huge, but it's due to the fact that I'm in Paraguay, and here meat and animal products are affordable, relatively more affordable than in Western countries. And also, when I was on keto, like everything that wasn't carnivore that I was purchasing, so I'm motivated by health. So I will get the best olive oil, like best, not like gourmet, but like make sure that it's like cold pressed and things like that. And that too, there's you got to get because it's a huge market, like the whole health thing. So you got to be, I think there's a lot of rip-off there too. Like you got to be careful. Like you got to, there's certain things, yeah, it's like it's worth putting the dollars, but some of it is more like to give you like good conscience, but it's not as healthy that it pretends. All the like the keto treats, I think it's a little bit BS, Oh, keto cookie and this, yeah, it's like, you're lying to yourself. Better stick with whole foods. And yeah, that's the thing. Like, always stick to whole foods, regardless of your diet. I think that's like you stick to whole foods. Like that's already everything that's processed is. Even olive oil is something processed. Even cheese, you can argue that it's processed, like it's not whole foods. So maybe sticking to whole foods mostly, like that could be a good rule of thumb. So that was kind of my take, like the update on the carnivore and comparing a little bit the carnivore with keto from my perspective. So they're not on equal footing. You have 1 month on carnivore versus 2 years on keto. But you can also argue that carnivore, it's keto on steroids is the next level. So it's a logic progression. So I hope that this was helpful, and maybe if you're interested in one of those diets, maybe you can you have a better idea which one could fit you more with your situation right now. No medical advice, because I really believe that, like, it's like this health journey. It's a journey, and that's why I don't like to use words like this is good, this is bad. It all depends where you're at, and we have all these tools to move forward. So depending on your situation, depending on your history, there's going to be tools that are going to allow you to go to the next step. That's how I see it. And they might be useful for a while, and then maybe not, Maybe you start with mono meals, then you water fast, and then maybe you dry fast. That'll be your progression. So maybe once you're dry fasting, maybe the mono meals, they're not any use anymore until the day maybe you're like, okay, but when I'm eating, I'm going to do mono meals, so those are all tools. And once you experiment with them and see how they work on you, then you can start thinking strategically, and use them, like, oh, maybe we can bring, that's what I did, I was like, oh, like gung-ho dry faster. And but when I started my business and stuff, like, you have to put a lot of work, and I didn't want to sit at a desk for 10 hours a day, like straight. So what I did was like, I'll work a little bit and go work out, walk, go to a co-working, and then do another physical activity, and then go to a coffee shop. So I built that routine. And since I'm single, I don't have kids, like I don't need to dial in 8 hours of work like as in one. So I can do it whenever I want, because I can if at 2 a.m. I want to get work done, I can. So then I decided, you know what, I'm gonna go a little bit more like water fast plus. Oh, those dogs, like, Jesus, like, I mean, that's maybe the only annoying thing about Paraguay. Other than that, there's no problem here. Like, that's my conclusion for Paraguay. Like, that's the whole dog situation. Like, for a pedestrian, like most people here, they don't walk. So I think it will be just a problem for somebody like me who likes to walk. Yeah, so then I introduced that what I call it water fasting plus. So I'm water fasting, but still consuming tea, coffee, things like that, and that allows me to go to hang out at coffee shops and all that. So that's for the video. My outlets are so this channel is Better Monday Fasting. So I have a book called For a Better Monday. It's available on Amazon, and also I have a stand store. You can also book some coaching with me if you're interested. I'm consider myself a fasting coach, even though there's no to be experienced with fasting, you have to fast. I mean, and I've been fasting since 2016, so I've pretty long journey, and I've done like pretty advanced fasts, and so you can read my book. You can book some time with me if you want to bounce ideas and assess your situation and try to put a game plan together. I'll be really into doing that because I want to learn more from other people's like profiles. But I'm not a doctor, and like I'm not a health professional. I don't have any certificates, so that has to be. You'll be making the decisions on your health. I'm just here to share my experience and bounce ideas, and also you can be like, oh, I have this symptom, and with my experience I can be like, okay, I used to have that and I solved it like this. So all those can be good. So that's for one thing. Then I have, if you live in the US, I have a electrolyte powder that is designed for fasting. So it's flavorless. It doesn't have any flavor. It doesn't have any sugar, so it doesn't break your fast. And it has also 72 trace minerals. Yeah, I've been using it lately, and it works great. I mean, I'm really proud of the product. I benchmarked it with competitors, and so I aim to do something better from my perspective, and I think I was able to come up with something better. I really think so. The ones I tried. So if you're in the US, you can order that. So my brand is called YouthLyte. So I'll put the link below. So YouthLyte.com, you can order your bottle. And lately, I've designed it for fasting, but it really helps with the carnivore diet, because I used to have this like symptom of in the middle of the night having the feeling of falling down and waking up with a spasm. And I always thought it was like, because it will happen to me during my fasting sessions too. And I always thought, you know what, this is like it's probably the nervous system resetting, And then I came across a video of a person who was on a carnivore for 2 years and then decided to come back to keto. And he was talking about the exact same symptom. And he said that it was due to the kidneys not being able to hold electrolytes. So I doubled my intake. So I usually would take before my workouts like one serving, a little bit more, a tiny bit more for taste. I like it salty, with lime juice. So I doubled that. And I'm making a Turkish drink called ayran. So it's yogurt. I put lime juice. Yogurt, lime juice, salt, but I start putting my my product, and it also gives a better flavor. So you can also use that product in your dips, in your soup. Like each time you're going to use salt and water, you can use the electrolyte powder that way. So the good news is that once I doubled my electrolyte intake, that problem I had, because it was causing me insomnia, you know. So it went away, and now I sleep really good, almost too good. Maybe that's also the problem. It could be. I mean, I don't know if it's the carnivore diet doing its magic, or maybe because our product is packed with potassium, so maybe it kind of makes you sleep deeper. I don't know. So yeah, there's that. You can order Fasting Electrolytes. We did like a new photo shoot in LA. So our web designer, I mean there's the web designing team in Pakistan. They're putting the new pictures in and all that, but yeah, I'm really not happy with the website. I mean, it doesn't convert the way I want, and yeah, I really want to improve. So we'll see with the new pictures, because before we didn't have the product, so everything was like mock-up pictures. So it kind of look, you know, it looks kind of fake. You know, everything looks kind of fake. So now with the real pictures, it's a good improvement. So we'll see if it converts more. But I'm thinking of, yeah, I mean, getting a better designer. I mean, somebody with results and something that. And also, I need to communicate better now. I know more what I want. So really communicate the message that what the product does, and you know, like to give you. To motivate you to purchase it, you know. I mean, it's a whole chain, like the whole selling something online. It's a whole chain. I mean, you have to have the product, the logistics, you know, the payment processing, all that. But then, you know, the store, like you have to, you know, like it has to be appealing, and then you got to get traffic, you know, because I mean, you can do the whole chain, great, but then if you don't put it in front of people's eyes, you know, you'll never know. Like, so it's a, and at each step, I mean, there are things to learn. Things to figure out. And it's very competitive, you know, like everybody. I mean, there are many people trying to do the same thing. So, you know, to pierce through the noise, you have to, well, first of all, have a better product, but then somehow you gotta communicate like that, you know, you're trustworthy, and the whole credit card thing and all that is like working, and yeah, and give that, communicate the message so people have the desire to purchase. So there is that, and something that kind of unrelated and related. It's my music project, Black Sea Storm. So as I was telling in the video earlier, like, so I'm a musician. I've been rocking out the best I could for the past 34 years. Like, so I stay out. That's the thing. Like, I mean, I played in bands. I did like tours and stuff. And then Black Sea Storm is my. I mean, I sit as a band, but I'm pretty much the only member. And yeah, it allows me to keep going, you know, because I don't rely on bandmates and all that, and I can integrate with my lifestyle. And when I was nomadic, I mean, I turned my life into a tour. That's how, in a romantic way, how I like to see it. So I will be going from city to city, have shows and all that. Since I started the business, I haven't been playing shows much. But the idea, it's also, I mean, the way I started the business is also to have more passive income so I can do art. I mean, I'm a big believer in art and music. I mean, I think that's the most important, you know, maybe with having a family, so I value it a lot, like, even though now, like, you know, I'm more like a kind of a solopreneur businessman, but I really value art. And fasting, it's actually the engine that that allows me to do all that. So fasting, that's why I'm not directly, like, I wouldn't say fasting is my passion, but it's the tool that allowed me to, despite being like almost 50 years old, to live in my backpacks and rock out and being entrepreneur like at a later age, and not have any complex, not relate to my age, have the confidence to jump into water, like that. So I owe all that to fasting. So fasting is fascinates me for that. It really fascinates me because it's the master tool that is allowing me to do all that. And when I see the majority of people of my age from my country and stuff, like they look really old, like they have belly, no hair, like they look really old, like I mean, not all of them, but so there's something magic with fasting and all those diets and all that. So and so my project is called Black Sea Storm. I also put the link. So I have albums on Spotify. I have a YouTube channel that has like 26,000 followers or something like that. So I've been doing it for a while, and I never got huge, but I have a little following, and also with the trips and all that, like I have a following, like people following my adventures, and very supportive. It's like a family, the Black Sea Storm family. So if you want to join that family too, you're very welcome. And now I have to find a way to have like 48-hour, 36-hour days. It's just that to do all those things like fully, there's not enough time. And I'm single. I don't have a girlfriend. I don't have kids and all that. So imagine, on top of that, if I had a family, it will be even more difficult. So I have to get better at it. I have to get better and smarter to find solutions. Learn how to delegate, which now I don't. Even the things I know how to do, I try. Like if somebody can do it faster, better, I delegate. But I don't want to. With the business thing, I don't want to have employees. Like I'm really, because employees, it's complicated. So I want to try to do everything with more like freelancers and manufacturers, like people like that. Then, because employees, then you need to have meetings. That's very the meeting. I think there's a book called Death by Meeting or something like that. So that's why like the agile project management philosophy, they do the meetings like 5 minutes standing up, and it's very costly. Like imagine you have 10 employees who are paid $50 an hour. I mean, an hour meeting is like $500, and then you have to make sure that if you don't have a team of A players, then you have to make sure that people are working, and then you have to find ways to do that without being a micro manager. I don't know. Like for me, it just doesn't. I really want to stay away from that, and I also want to keep having the schedule I have even now, like with coaching, and sometimes I have meetings too, like with the freelancers. And I don't like it because it blocks. Then you have to be at that time. You have to be at a place where you don't have much noise, good internet connection, and then people cancel and all that. Like my day is scheduled, is optimized, like so then when you when you have to deal with other people, and also people culturally might not understand, if you have like if you have employees, they're like, they go to work, they're weekend minded, they're 8 hours a day minded, so they see you come in, work a couple hours, and go to the gym. They're like, oh, this guy is not. From their perspective, they're not going to take you seriously. They're going to be like, oh, this guy is goofing around. Like he makes us work, but he's having fun. but they don't know that. Then like I'll be working while they're sleeping, and so that too. Like it's like employees is I really want to stay away from that, and at least for now. And like the whole solopreneur concept is it's exciting, but I'm sure it has its limits too. So thank you for watching the video. It's been almost an hour, so if you watched it that far, special thank you. So like I don't do the whole like put a like, follow, all that. Like because for so long I was just like so didn't want to become a YouTuber, and I really looked down on the whole YouTuber thing until I decided to use it, because I think nowadays, like if you want to do business, you kind of have to put your face first. But I'm still like, I don't want to do the whole like self-promote, like for the algorithms and all that. Like let's see if I can make the channel grow without doing all that whole self-promo thing, that it becomes really, it tires me. Like every video you go, the guy is like, oh, please follow, please. It's and I'm sure it works, like, because a lot of people, they like the content and they will like to follow, but they just don't think about it. So like the person saying it, they're like, oh yeah, like I know it works, but it's just like, I don't know, if what you're sharing is, the information you're sharing is relevant, it's solving problems, people will follow. That's what that's how I see it. Like and if you're not solving any problems, then there's no need for you, so people won't follow. Like that's how I see it. So well, thanks a lot for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in another video soon. Thank you.